Hi, I'm Paul from the agency, and I've just put the screencast together to briefly talk about Drupal and how it can be used to improve administrative interface for websites, and what we at the agency do to also help out to improve the UX for administrators. So I'm going to be going through a couple of websites, a couple of projects that we've done with permission from the respective clients. These are actually development versions of the site, not live data. First of all, I'm going to quickly go through the website for the IHA, the International Hydropower Association, which is a membership-based association site, and we've done a fair bit of work improving the administrative interface. I'll start very quickly by going to dashboard. We'll normally set up a dashboard for most sites where you can see a number of things. We can actually vary this from site to site. In this particular one, you can see about a bit of information about your own profile, edits that you've recently done, which I don't appear to have done any edits recently, and all recent content. If you've used Drupal before, then you may not be familiar with the theme that you're looking at the moment. A lot of Drupal installs tend to go with the standard Drupal administrative themes. This theme here is a variation of a theme called Ember, which is made by the Spark team, which is a team of people working for the Drupal Association who were tasked with the job of improving the admin interface of Drupal. And they came up with this theme. We've also put a few touches on top of it ourselves to also improve it for our clients. But you'll find it's a significantly improved experience over the standard Drupal. If I click on the View All button, then we'll go to the Drupal content screen, the main content screen, where we can find and edit and do things to all the content on the site. If you've used Drupal before, again, you may notice that this has been upgraded to a certain extent. The filter section is improved. We've got search and title search in there. We can add other filters on a site-by-site basis. It may be appropriate. We could have a drop-down list of terms, for instance, that content is tagged with to help you find content. We can change the columns that are shown here to be more relevant to the site in question. We can also add and remove options from this operations list to change what you can do to multiple pieces of content at a time, which can, in some cases, really speed up large-scale administration. Just looking briefly at the menu at the top of the screen, we often use this menu structure, which basically gives one-click access to the entire admin area of the website. We will spend quite a lot of time customizing what does and doesn't appear in this menu, and basically take away a lot of the more, or delegate to certain roles, a lot of the more technical pages, the technical tasks, so that the content editors, for instance, can only see the things that they need in order to be able to get on with the job that they need to do. So there will often be people in our clients' offices who are more, have a more technical background, who will have another permission, and they will have more control over structural things, menus, blocks, what have you. And this menu will update automatically for the different users to just show them the things they need and show them in a logical manner. Okay, I've just come to a content creation screen. We're going to create a blog post quickly just to demonstrate a few of the admin functions we put in for editors at the creation stage. Well, the first thing I'll point out is that we've tabbed this particular content creation page to break the fields that you need to fill in into logical groups. So obviously we've got the basic info, the title and body, media where we can upload images associated, categories where we can assign certain tags. This really does help editors to concentrate on what they're working on at the moment, as opposed to having a long rolling page of fields to work through. One of the next things we tend to focus on is the WYSIWYG editor. We'll generally tidy it up, organise it, get rid of a lot of the cruft that you get on there by default, and try and make it easier for editors to see how to get the results that they want, and work with clients to find out what they need to come out of their editor, what they need to, what editorial styles they need, and put in the tools that they need for them to achieve that. We'll start putting together a post to highlight some of this. Excuse the Latin text, not quite enough time to write an essay, but let's say this is the text I've written for our article. We will have, let's put a couple of the standard things in there. We'll put a couple of heading twos in there, which is in our formatting list. In addition to our format list, we'll normally set up a styles list, which will work with the client to do. In this particular example, the client would like to have an intro paragraph, which will be styled slightly differently. I would also like to have an aside. Let's just add a few more paragraphs. An aside style, and we'll see what that looks like on the front end shortly. You'll notice that we've got the editor set up to count characters and words, which can be useful in certain instances. We could add, when it comes to adding inline media, we've got lots of useful tools here. I'll just quickly upload an image for this and put in some alt text. On this particular site, we were tasked with having two different styles for how images would appear. So on this one, I'm going to select full width and hit submit. Let's put a couple of other things in here. Let's maybe make this into a block quote, and down the bottom we shall put a table. Yeah, that will go. And just put some quick data in there, and I shall make a couple of cells into header cells. That will probably do for now. Let's just quickly see what that looks like on the front end. Oh, I appear to have forgotten something. Okay, so here's our front-end image, we have our intro paragraph style, our images, our inline text, our aside style, our block quotes, and our tables. And that was all very easy to put together very quickly. Quick thing to point out here, we have contextual links to get to admin areas. If you are logged in as an administrator, you'll see this edit button here. If you have the correct permissions, you'll also be able to get to lots of other things from the front end. For instance, you can get to list links on your menu and move your menu links around. I'll quickly go back into here. And say I'm not too keen on this image, so we'll just change this and make it a bit more in line. And a little trick we put together, if I put some text in the title text field, and we'll select aside this time, and save, then that's now picked up this aside style, which obviously moves it off to the side, and the title text we put there has become a caption. Now that we've saved this for the second time and made a change to it, a new tab has appeared called Revisions. If I go into Revisions, you'll see a list of all the changes that you've made, and you can revert any one of them. You can compare the differences and see what's actually changed in the text. I could revert that, go back, go to view again, and it's gone back to the original image. If we wanted, when we were saving any new change, we could actually put a message in here to say what the change was, and then those messages would appear on that revision screen. So it would be a lot easier to identify which one to go back to. I'm just going to quickly move on to another project now. This is a musician's website. It's actually a framework that we've put together called Drupal for musical artists. It's distribution, which means that this site, this basic framework, can be used to make a number of artist sites. They're all based on the same structure, but they can be styled, presented in different ways. And one thing that's common for all of them is the admin interface. So we put a lot of time really optimizing the admin interface for that particular market and for their needs. The first way you'll notice that is with the administrative menu, which we've broken up into sections relevant to the needs of musical artists. So there's a live section where they can go in and administer their shows, their venues, their reviews, or in media, their albums and their galleries. If I actually have a look at some of these pages, for instance the albums page, you'll notice that instead of having one large filterable list of content, now we've got a specific list for albums where we've set up the columns to show the cover of the album and the name. If we go to galleries, you've got the featured image, the title, the number of images in the gallery. If we go to gigs or shows, then you see the date, the name, the venue, and the town that the venue is in. You can also filter by venue, which obviously wouldn't be relevant on the albums page. If we go into create a new show, I'll just demonstrate a couple of the features we've built in here. Again, we've tabbed the interface to split it up because there's a lot of information to capture about a show. One example here is the venue. Now, artists will often play the same venue on more than one occasion, and they don't want to be entering the same details over and over again. So any venue that they've already entered once, they can actually find, this is an autocomplete field, and they can pull up the details of that. Alternatively, if it's a new venue, they could hit create venue, and without having to go to another page, enter all the details, the address, the website, the description, etc. Likewise, on galleries, we could you have the ability to add new galleries from here. This would normally happen after a show has taken place and they've got a lot of photography for it. They can go and edit it, add a new gallery. They could drag and drop all of their photos in here in one go. Let's just quickly demonstrate the multiple upload. That's just imported all these images for this show, so it's very quickly to set that all up. And once they save this, then this will appear. That gallery will appear not only associated with the show, but also in the galleries page. Likewise, with after the show, they might want to upload reviews, and in some instance, a review might be appropriate to a show and an album, so they can reuse an existing one. And then they can edit that from here. Or they can add a brand new review and more details there. So these are the things that we try to do to prevent users from having to go to multiple pages within the same site when they want to concentrate on one piece of content, to prevent users from having to enter the same details over and over again. And I think we've achieved that, and it's possible because Drupal is highly extendable. Not only the front end but the back end as well. All of these features, there's been obviously a certain amount of work done on our end to get it working, but they're all fundamentally exposed by Drupal and the contributed modules that you can get to go with it. We won't go to this extent on all the projects that we'll do. We'll generally have to figure out what the needs of our client is, and if need be, associate some budget to put that together to make the improvements. But we'll generally, even when there's no specific budget put aside, we'll generally put some time into improving the admin interface and just making sure that it's generally friendly and easy to use. And that's pretty much the end of the presentation. Thank you for watching, and let's see.